Hi, welcome to Celebrating Culture. We're coming to you today from Ortigia, Sicily, which is right next door to Syracuse. A lot of Vespas, a lot of motorcycle noise. Hi, welcome to Celebrating Culture. We're coming to you today from Ortigia, Sicily, which is a neighboring community to Syracuse, just down the street from Augusto and Catania. Behind me is a fortress. And this is so important because we have in New Orleans Decatur Street. But who was with Stephen Decatur? And why is he so famous? He was famous because he stopped the kidnapping of Sicilians to be sold into slavery, which had been going on from about 1450 to 1815. This was the Barbary Coast Wars of America. But the pilot and his crew of the boat that Stephen Decatur was the captain of, with 75 Navy and Marines, but the pilot and the crew of the boat, the Intrepid, which Stephen Decatur was the captain of, with 75 Navy and Marines on it, was done by Salvador Catalano. And you can Google Salvador Catalano. The White House has done a story on him, but very few people know about his history and what he did for America. So Thomas Jefferson had decided to quit paying the $250,000 a year tribute that the Muslims wanted, the Barbary Coast countries of North Africa, not to enslave and capture and destroy U.S. merchant shipping in the Mediterranean. Sicily was already dealing with the problem. It was got war trying to end the slavery issue. Jefferson gets 3 bases in Sicily to work with the Sicilian government. Sicily is America's first international war ally. Salvador Catalano signs up to help send in a ship called the Intrepid. Take a second break here. Salvador Catalano signs up to help the Americans under Stephen Decatur sail a ship called the USS Intrepid into Tripoli. A lot of traffic suddenly. Salvador Catalano signs up to help the U.S. Navy sail a ship into Tripoli because he speaks the language. He knows the coast, the reefs. The USS Philadelphia had ran ashore on a reef and had been captured. It was an embarrassment to the U.S. government. So Catalano and his crew get the ship in, and Stephen Decatur takes it from there. Catalano then sails it out. I'm down here, and I actually met in Assi Teresa with Alfred and Esther of You, Me, and Sicily, and they had recently done a piece on this story. So I'd like to break now. I'd like to go now to that story and let you hear what Alfred and Esther have to say about Salvador Catalano. We'll be right back. I'd like to go now to that interview. I was down here and I interviewed Alfred and Esther of You, Me, and Sicily, who have studied the story and recently told it. I'd like so now we're going to go to that interview. I was down here in Sicily, and I met Alfred and Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. They had recently done a segment on that exact same story. So now we're going to go to an interview we did with Alfred and Esther about Salvador Catalano. I really hope you enjoyed that interview. And the hymn, the Marine Corps hymn, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, comes from the Barbary Coast Wars. So when you hear those songs, now you know what the words mean, and also the fact that this was a major teamwork of Sicily and America, Salvador Catalano and Stephen Decatur, to end the Barbary Coast piracy. This was the beginning of the end of slavery in America. Stay tuned, we'll be right back with more of Celebrating Culture.